Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at more similarities between MMTLP and DJT, and that includes looking at the nefarious actors involved, or should we say allegedly involved. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol ARM with an important stock update, so stay tuned for that. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets. So in terms of key US economic data this week, we can see retail sales Wednesday, jobless claims Thursday, building permits Thursday, but in terms of the three big ones to watch, we're looking at CPI inflation, retail sales and also earnings. So keep an eye on CPI inflation on Wednesday and also PPI inflation on Tuesday. So in terms of 2024 on the Wall Street performance so far, we can see overall the year is green. Dow Jones up 4.8%, the S&P 500 up 9.5%, Nasdaq is up 8.9%, the Russell 2000 is up approximately 1.4%. But if we look at specific stocks, Nvidia is doing exceptionally well, up 81.5%, and Bitcoin also going through a 2024 resurgence at 43.5%. And finally, if we have a look at another huge week for earnings, we can see here a number of prominent stocks about to call for earnings, including NU, Stone, Legend, Dole, Grab, Cisco, Walmart, Applied Materials, amongst many others. Let's start by giving a shout out here to Radar, who's posted with regards to Gary Gensler. He stated here that the billionaire Mark Cuban has stated that Gary Gensler is not protecting a single investor against fraud. So strong words there from Mark. And he's also stated that Gary Gensler has made it near impossible for legitimate crypto companies to operate. So that's from a crypto point of view. But again, what importantly Mario has stated is that the MMTLP community also knows this firsthand, and we have seen directly how Gary's very nervous and limited response to Congress when asked directly about MMTLP. Let's now move on to some of the nefarious actors, or should we say alleged nefarious actors. And what Stephanie has posted here is that three big names you will find as the largest holders of almost every publicly traded company. So this is interesting. So she's talking about Vanguard, she's talking about BlackRock, and she's talking about State Street. And she's saying that basically this is giving them a seat on the table in all them companies. So her focus is on AMC. However, I think the point that she's making is valid. So if we look at the image here, it states, as of December the 31st, 2023, the largest shareholders of AMC, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, and then obviously at the bottom we also have Citadel, who do have a holding in that. So again, certainly interesting in terms of how these stocks are played out. Let's now have a look at an interesting post from Timeless Tim, who's tagging in Kristen Shaughnessy and also Devin Nunes with regard to what may be happening in DJT and what also may have been happening in MMTLP. So what Tim has stated here is, first of all, in terms of the MMTLP community, in terms of his information here, he's saying that is, first of all, the names below may seem to be of interest. Again, tagging in Devin Nunes, and he's stating here with particular reference, we're talking about ETrade December 2022. If we look at the official order routing report on the top of the route as well as during the MMTLP fiasco, the organizations that Devin called out, these include Citadel Securities, Virtue Americas, G1 Execution Services, and Jane Street Capital. So in terms of 90% of all ETrade orders routed through that month. Again, that was a significantly high percentage, and we know what the problems are with ETrade and obviously the share imbalance. And with one MMTLP TLTC sell order during that time frame, the buyer was later rejected, and we all know, but obviously seem very desperate with a big problem and so much to pay and so much to hide. So if we have a look at the other images shared by Tim, first of all, December 22 non-S&P 500 stocks, in terms of examples of what was happening there, and we also can see his orders, including the GTC orders that were for MMTLP. One of them was for $1,000 a share on here, and one of them was for giving a total return, sorry, for 1,000 shares at $200,000 per share, giving a total price of $200 million, according to Tim's image there that we have covered previously as well. And if we now look onto a reaction from Curtis, he stated with regard to G1 execution and ETrade, which is the broker that we're looking at, he's also talked about particularly paying attention to the OTC transparency data on the market makers trading MMTLP. And he'll say that you'll notice that nearly no tickers on the OTC funneling through the major market makers, especially removing ADRs, but the most shortest OTC stocks have all the big boys trading major relative volume. So if we have a look at that page on OTC transparency data, you can go ahead and check this out yourself. So you can search the stocks, you can search obviously in alphabetical order as well, and this data is available certainly for FINRA, and FINRA would also be able to provide this data. But what we can see that they're stating in terms of their transparency data, they are basically saying that the trading information is derived directly from the OTC trades and ATs and member firms that report to FINRA's equity trade reporting facilities. And they've stated that the data does not include information about transactions that occur on national securities exchanges, i.e. other exchanges, but certainly for FINRA, the data on the OTC is something that they would have easily and readily available. So I think the question from my point of view is, if this data is so easily available, why obviously is it critically important for FINRA to withhold this data, especially as we are approaching well in excess of 500 days. Finally, let's finish off by having a look at ticker symbol ARM, also known as ARM Holdings, and information about the company was also shared in the Discord in our research and DD channel. So first of all, let's have an overview of the company itself. So this is a stock that has been previously featured on the channel, so go ahead and check out the previous videos about ARM. So first of all, it's a key reminder, the company is building the future of computing. The energy efficient processors are designed with software platforms and enable them to participate in advanced computing in more than 280 million chips, and the technologies securely power products from the sensor to the smartphone and to the supercomputer. So they're also saying that together with 1,000+ technology partners, they are enabling AI to work everywhere. So let's have a look at the website and what it states there. So we can see here on the website, they have reported that they have achieved $3 billion plus in annual revenue for the first time. And what is driving this is AI demand. So that is certainly very, very positive, and they certainly seem to be in the forefront of what they are doing. So in terms of the earnings, so the earnings were strong. However, I think there was a little bit of a sell-off because obviously the sales grew approximately 47%. We're looking at close to $928 million in the previous quarter, and this was certainly driven by the demand for the AI chips. So in terms of the earnings highlights for the fourth quarter 2024, we can see that total revenue was up 47% year on year at $928 million. Licensing and other revenue, that was up 60% on the year at $414 million. And I think the interesting one is royalty revenue, which was up 37% year on year at $514 million. So the non-operating income was a very positive $391 million. So if we have a look at the actual full year highlights, we can see here that total revenue was up a staggering 21% year on year at $3.2 billion. Licensing and other revenue, that was up 43%. Royalty revenue, that was up 8%, and operating income up 80% year on year at $1.408 billion. So tremendous figures there overall by ARM. If we look at the overall guidance here for the year ending 25, they're looking at approximately between $875 to $925 million for the first quarter, but for the full year they're looking at in excess of $3.8 billion. And obviously up to $4.1 billion. And they're looking at non-operating expenses, $475 million, and obviously for the full year, just in excess of $2 billion. So diluted earnings per share between 32 cents and 36 cents. And for 2025, they're looking for between $1.45 and $1.65. So very positive projections there. So I'm going to share with you the 1 month chart. But before we look at that, close of play on Friday, it was up in excess of 5% at $108.84. But if we have a look at the chart here, prior to current trading around about the 22nd of May, we can see there was an opportunity to get this below $90, and we can see at one point it was trading well in excess of $130. So since that dip close to $90, it does seem to be having a positive upward momentum, and over the previous month it is up down 13%, but it is now showing some positive momentum up. So in terms of other news from Reuters here, we can see May the 12th 2024, ARM Holdings is planning to launch AI chips in 2025 as reported by the Nikkei. So and finally, what I'm going to share with you here from the investor relations page, in terms of the future of computing, what they are saying is ARM is the world's most pervasive CPU architecture. Everything today is a computer. CPUs are needed everywhere. Strong growth, highly profitable and cash generative company. So positive figures there. So if you would like to get more detail of research and due diligence in other companies, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.